In an industry where reporters often try to steer the conversation toward their hidden agendas, some celebrities aren't afraid to push back and stay firm. From Sean Strickland calling out a reporter's LGBT agenda.
We've got a pretty supportive gay and lesbian community in this city. I did want to ask you about something you wrote a couple of years ago. You said, if I had a gay son, I would think I've...
Oh, look, another. I'm saying to you, the swamp, you guys, the swamp.
You become a champion, you become a star, and someone says...
Let me ask you something. Are you gay?
Have you had the chance to interact with a more diverse crowd of...
Let me know, are you gay?
Can I get an answer?
Well, no, I'm asking, this is part of, are you a gay man?
I'm an ally of the community.
Okay. If you had a son and he was like, you had a son, he was gay, you'd be like, oh man, you don't want a grandkid?
No problem with it.
Oh man, well, dude, you're a weak fucking man, dude. You're part of the fucking problem. You elected Justin Trudeau.
To Ronda Rousey, shutting down a reporter pushing the women's equal pay narrative.
I'm the highest paid fighter, not because Dana and Lorenzo wanted to do something nice for the ladies.
Here are 15 times when celebrities call out reporters pushing hidden agendas. Starting with Denzel Washington, who was seen heading into the Museum of Modern Art in New York when things got tense. Some reporters shouted to get his attention, hoping he would show them some affection. But it ended up making him look cold-hearted.
That's Denzel Washington.
Washington walked up to the group of reporters and voiced his frustration with their loud behavior.
You talking about showing love and I got nothing but love. But respecting me first. All right. I said I'll see you when I get out. Which part of that don't y'all understand?
You're on the way out? Thank you.
Or not. Or not. We can do it another way. Either way.
Way out.
I can do it both ways, y'all. You feel me?
But this next confrontation between the biggest celebrity, Trump, and a reporter takes things to a whole new level. At a press conference in the White House, after Trump was reelected, a reporter with a hidden agenda tried to undermine Trump by asking an insulting question about pardoning those involved in the January 6th events.
Mr. President, you're a president who has long said that you back the blue, but aren't you sending the message that assaulting officers is okay with these pardons?
No, the opposite. In fact, I'm going to be letting 2 officers from Washington Police, D.C. I believe they're from D.C., but I just approved it. They were arrested, put in jail for 5 years because they went after an illegal, and I guess something happened where something went wrong, and they arrested the 2 officers and put them in jail for going after a criminal, a rough criminal, by the way. And I'm actually releasing. No, I am the friend of police, more than any president that's ever been in this office.
So more than 400 of the people that you pardoned, though, assaulted officers. So I want to ask you about the Vice President, J.D. Vance. He said, this is a week ago, he said, if you committed violence on January 6th, obviously you should not be pardoned. Why is your Vice President wrong?
The reporter even tried to be disrespectful toward President Trump, but it didn't work.
Well, only for one reason. They've served years in jail. They should not have served, and they've served years in jail, and murderers don't even go to jail in this country. And we had 1,500, we have 16 under review. As you know, we commuted about 16 of them because it looks like they could have done things that were not acceptable for a full pardon. But these people have served years of jail, their lives have been ruined, and in many cases, listen to me for a second, stop interrupting. They've served years in jail, and...
Much like Trump's response, Sean Strickland's reaction to the reporter was spot on. So, a reporter tried to degrade Sean Strickland's reputation during the UFC 297 Media Day.
You're in Toronto. Welcome. Glad to hear it. It's been great.
Are you Canadian?
Of course I am.
Are you part of the fucking opposition? Are you?
I don't know how to phrase that.
You got to yeah.
Well, I did want to ask you.
Did you vote for Trudeau?
I'm not going to say.
And let me tell you something right now. If a man says he's not going to say, like if you ask him, motherfucker, did you vote for Biden? He's like, well, I'm not going to say. That's none of your business. He voted for fucking Biden.
Sean, I'm glad you've had great experiences.
So this is what I'm talking about, you guys. The enemy of Canada.
Sure. All right. That's what it's got to be. It's got to be.
The reporter revealed his hidden agenda by asking Sean about gay rights and why he's allegedly against the LGBT community. However, when Sean responded, The reporter was completely shut down.
We've got a pretty supportive gay and lesbian community in this city. I did want to ask you about something you wrote a couple of years ago. You said, if I had a gay son, I would think I'd...
Oh, look, another. I'm saying the swamp, you guys, the swamp.
You become a champion, you become a star, and someone would say...
Let me ask you something. Are you gay?
Have you had the chance to interact with a more diverse
Are you? Let me know. Are you gay?
Can I get an answer?
Well, no, I'm asking. This is a part of. Are you a gay man?
I'm an ally of the community.
Okay. If you had a son and he was like, you had a son, he was gay, you'd be like, oh man, you don't want a grandkid?
No problem with it.
Oh man, well, dude, you're a weak fucking man, dude. You're part of the fucking problem. You elected Justin Trudeau, like, when he sees the bank accounts, like, you're just fucking pathetic. And the fact that you have no fucking backbone. And has he shut down your fucking country and seized bank accounts? You ask me some stupid shit like that, go fuck yourself. Move the fuck on, man.
But this next confrontation between a reporter, Jake Paul, and Mike Tyson takes it to a whole new level. Before the fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, the press conference got heated. A reporter with a hidden agenda tried to disrespect Jake Paul, not realizing he was also disrespecting Mike Tyson.
My question's for Jake. Jake, you say you want to be a serious boxer and you want to be a contender and be a title holder. So then when in your career are you going to actually fight a contender in your weight class and not do gimmick fights?
I think he just called Mike Tyson a gimmick.
Now, Mike Tyson confronted the reporter, shutting him down in true Tyson style.
Mike Tyson's 58 years old, or will be at the time of the fight, yes.
So
as much as I respect Mike Tyson and his...
What did you just call me again?
I didn't call you anything.
What did you call me?
I didn't call you anything.
It's been 4 years in this sport, and I've done more to it than any boxer in the history of the sport. So in due time, sir, I will be fighting for a world championship, and I will be shutting you the fuck up and making you eat your own words, just like the rest of these fucking punks.
Similar to Tyson's response, Elon Musk slaughters a BBC reporter. When a BBC reporter tried to push his hidden agenda on Elon Musk about hate speech and moderation issues on X, he didn't realize that Elon wouldn't let him get away with it.
We've spoken to people very recently who were involved in moderation, and they just say there's not enough people to police this stuff, particularly around hate speech in the company. Is that
what hate speech are you talking about? I mean, you use Twitter,
right?
Do you see a rise in hate speech?
I mean,
but just a personal anecdote. Like, what do you? I don't.
Personally, for you, I would see I get more of that kind of content. Yeah, personally, but I'm not going to talk to the rest of for the rest of Twitter.
So you see more hate speech personally?
I would say I would see more hateful content in that.
Content you don't like or hateful. What do you mean to describe a hateful thing?
Yeah, I mean, just content that will solicit a reaction, something that may include something that is slightly racist or slightly sexist, those kinds of things.
So you think if something is slightly sexist, it should be banned?
No,
is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying anything. I'm
just curious. I'm trying to understand what you mean by hateful content, and I'm asking for specific examples.
At this point, Elon Musk realized the reporter was just trying to damage Platform X and called him a liar. The reporter then tried to backtrack.
Well, hang on a second. You said you've seen more hateful content, but you can't name a single example, not even one.
I'm not sure I've used that feed for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and
then how did you see the hateful content?
Because I've been using Twitter since you've taken it over for the last 6 months.
Okay, so then you must have at some point seen you hateful content. I'm asking for one example.
Right.
And you can't give a single one.
And I'm saying...
Then I say, sir, that you don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Yes, because you can't give me a single example of hateful content, not even one tweet, and yet you claimed that the hateful content was high.
Well,
that's a false.
No, what I claimed...
You just lied.
What I claimed was there are many organizations that say that kind of information is on the rise. Now, whether it has on my feed or not...
Give me one example.
I mean, right, and
literally
you can look at something like the Strategic Dialogue Institute in the UK. They will say that. So
look, people will say all sorts of nonsense. I'm literally asking for a single example, and you can't name one.
Right, and as I already said, I don't use that feed. But
then how would you know?
I don't think this is getting anywhere.
You literally said you experienced more hateful content, and then couldn't name a single example.
Right, and as I said,
that's absurd.
I haven't actually looked at that feed.
Then how would you know there's hateful content?
Because I'm saying that's what I saw a few weeks ago. I can't give you an exact example. Let's move on. We only have a certain amount of time.
But this next confrontation between Matthew McConaughey and the reporters of The View takes things to a whole new level. During an appearance on The View, Matthew McConaughey was asked by the hosts about his plans to run for governor of Texas.
In 2021, you consider to run for governor of the state of Texas. Do you think political office is in your future? Can you see that?
If it's where I would deem myself to be most useful?
Yeah.
Yes.
Little did Matthew know the host had a hidden agenda to mock his potential run for governor. One of them tried to disrespect him, but Matthew quickly put her in her place.
Do you think you could get elected in Texas being anti-gun?
Do I think I could get elected in Texas being anti-gun? One thing about if me in politics is to give you a direct statement right there is me playing a game that I'm not interested in playing.
Okay,
to give you a direct statement right there.
Just like Matthew's response, Nicki Minaj's reaction reminds us that boundaries matter. During the Joe Budden podcast, a reporter suggested that Nicki Minaj stop addressing everything on social media. This angered Nicki, so she quickly fired back at the reporter for talking nonsense.
I think back to you talking about people on social media and how easily they're swayed with opinions that we can put out there. Back to the Nicki hate train. No, I don't think you started that, but I think addressing it adds to it.
And then when I don't address it, then what? Then people keep on believing lies about me?
I'm not saying it's fair.
You sound crazy. See, you see how that works?
Nick, you can't control what everybody thinks.
I'm explaining something. I'm not
you can
saying
say
it's
that
right
when
or
it's
wrong.
not you. If I go outside, what's your name?
Rory.
If I go outside in the street every single day and say, hey, just now I just saw Rory sticking a broom up somewhere.
He does
Hold on.
Nicki was so angry that even the reporters were taken aback.
True or not, we'll say you have stuck a broom up.
Great.
Is that okay?
It's not. But that's not
Should
anything
you
of
defend
the point
yourself? Yes,
of
it
what
is
I'm
the
saying.
point. The point is, you just told me I shouldn't defend myself.
I didn't say that at all.
So the next Queen Radio. So let me tell you what I'm gonna do. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do. The next Queen Radio, I'm gonna start a lie about you. I'm gonna start a lie about you.
Yes! That's my favorite show.
It's not cool. It's not cool. It's not cool. Let me tell you something. You might laugh and say it's cool, but when it's a bunch of celebrities out here taking drugs and committing suicide and killing themselves, it's not cool. It's not cool because you think because it's not on you when the heat is not on you. Of course it's cool. If you felt the heat, it would not be cool, my.
But this next confrontation takes things to another level. In a recent press conference, Ronda Rousey was confronted by a reporter with a hidden agenda who asked her about anti-feminism and the wage gap between male and female athletes.
We've got quite a large pay dispute happening with our Australian women's soccer team at the moment. Is it frustrating for you as someone who's so prominent in your sport? And we heard you say on the Ellen show the other day you are the richest fighter in UFC, that sort of thing is still going on?
Ronda Rousey picked up on the reporter's evil tone and responded in a way that had everyone laughing, leaving the reporter speechless.
I think that how much you get paid should have something to do with how much money you bring in. I'm the highest paid fighter, not because Dana and Lorenzo wanted to do something nice for the ladies. They do it because I bring in the highest numbers. They do it because I make them the most money. And I think that the money that they make should be proportionate to the money that they bring in.
Similar to Ronda's response, Samuel L. Jackson calling out the reporter reveals their hidden agenda. During the Django Unchained movie conference, actor Samuel L. Jackson was confronted with a deeply insulting question from the reporter.
There's been a lot of controversy surrounding the usage of the N-word in this movie, and
no, nobody, none. The word would be.
Oh, I don't want to say it.
Why not?
I don't like to say it.
Samuel quickly realized the reporter was trying to trap him. Instead of reacting, Samuel played along with the reporter until the reporter became visibly uncomfortable.
Have you ever said it?
No, sir.
Try it.
I don't like to say it.
Try it.
Really? Seriously?
We're not going to have this conversation unless you say it. You want to move on to another question?
Okay. Awesome. I don't want to say it.
Come on.
Will you say it?
No. That's not the same thing.
Why do you want me to say it?
They're going to bleep it when you say it on your show. Say it.
I can't say it. If I say it, this question, it won't make air.
Okay, forget it.
Okay, I'll skip it. Sorry, guys. It was a good question.
No, it wasn't.
But this next confrontation takes things to a whole new level. During a 60 Minutes interview, Tom Cruise sat down with reporter Peter Overton. What's crazy, though, is that the reporter seemed to have a hidden agenda involving Tom's ex-wife, Nicole Kidman.
Was Nicole the love of your life?
What do you mean, Peter?
You were married for 10 years.
Listen, we raised children. You know, I mean, how do you answer that? How do you answer that question? She's someone that I plan on getting married again.
You do?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And having kids?
Absolutely.
As Tom tried to go along with the interview, it quickly became clear that the reporter crossed a line he shouldn't have.
But Nicole was a major part of your life and a love of your life at the time.
I loved Nick very much. There's no question.
Would you like Nicole to remarry?
Yes. I want Nicole to be happy. That's what I want.
And do you have a relationship where you talk, it's a parenting relationship, and talk professionally about each other's work?
Listen, here's the thing, Peter. Yeah. You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
Well, I suppose they're questions that people want to know.
Peter, you want to know. Take responsibility for what you want to know. Don't say what other people. This is a conversation that I'm having with you right now.
You're right.
Okay, so I'm just telling you right now, okay? Just put your manners back in.
Do you think I was out of line?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I apologize for that sincerely.
Just like Tom Cruise's response, Robert Downey's reaction reminds us that boundaries matter. Robert Downey Jr. is known for his calm demeanor, but in this interview, it was clear that he became uncomfortable.
You say we're promoting an interview, promoting the movie. I mean, obviously you're doing a promotional round of interviews, and that's why we're talking about the movie, but we also would like to talk a little bit about you, and I don't know how comfortable you are, you know, talking about yourself at the moment.
You have as much time as anyone else will.
Yeah, well, okay, well then let me just ask you a few more questions, and you can answer them if you want to and not if you don't want to. I mean, well, I think we've got 3 more minutes on our agreement.
Your foot's starting to jump a little bit. You better get to your next question.
The reporter exposed his hidden agenda to make fun of Robert's past, but Robert's response took him by surprise.
The reason I'm asking about the past is that you've talked in other interviews again about your relationship with your father and the role of all of that in the dark periods you entered and taking drugs and drinking and all of that. And I just wondered whether, you think you're free of all of that, or whether that's still something.
I'm sorry, I really don't. What are we doing?
Well, I'm just asking questions, that's all.
Right.
I mean,
okay. Bye.
Thank you, guys. I'm sorry.
But this next confrontation between Morgan Freeman and the reporter takes things to another level. During a 60 Minutes interview with Morgan Freeman, the reporter asked a distasteful question that revealed his hidden agenda about racism.
Black History Month you find ridiculous. Why? You're going to relegate my history to a month? Oh, come on. What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? No, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
However, Morgan's response to the reporter caught him completely off guard.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism?
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.
Like Morgan's response, Mel Gibson calling out the reporter shows their hidden agenda. During an interview with Mel Gibson, the reporter intended to address the anti-Semitic remarks Mel made during his 2006 DUI arrest.
Some people are going to welcome you back, and other people are going to be like, you should never come back. Why?
However, Mel fired back at the reporter and put him in his place.
Because of what happened before.
What happened before?
The remarks that were attributed to you.
That were attributed to me, that I didn't necessarily make.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But
I gather you have a dog in this fight.
Pardon me?
You have a dog in this fight? Or are you being impartial?
You tell me I'm trying to be impartial, I guess.
Okay. Well, I'm back. And I hope it works out. And I hope people will graciously accept me back.
But this next confrontation takes things to a whole new level. During an interview at the Montreal Just for Laughs festival, a female reporter hit Bill Burr with a ridiculous question.
Can women be funny?
Yeah, of course.
Some people have a hard time saying yes, though. There are a lot of angry young men on the internet that are like, women can't be fun.
Will you guys just fucking grow up and just sit down and write your own and come up with it? Start your own show, have your own award show. Quit waiting around for other people to do for you. That's the problem. If you guys had your own big club and I was standing outside of it, you'd never fucking let me in. I'd start my own shit. You guys got to start your own shit. You got brains in there, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So write your own shit and quit your fucking whining. We're all eating a giant sandwich out here. Nobody cares. I don't care.
Bill got frustrated and tried to insult the reporter, but in his usual polite way.
Absolutely, but I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a white person.
The fuck up. It makes no difference whether you got a or a all right? Just do what the you want to do, and hopefully people respond to it. But this horse of quotas and all of this crap become undeniable. Well, when was the last time you went on stage and you killed so hard the person after you bombed? If you're doing that on a regular basis, people are going to notice regardless of what you have between your legs. Yep. All right? Thank you, and God bless the United States of Canada.
But this next confrontation between Jesse Eisenberg and an Indian reporter takes things to another level. At the 2016 MCM London Comic Con, Jesse Eisenberg was speaking to the crowd when a reporter suddenly tried to mock him.
And she brought this movie, The Double, which was actually an English movie. We filmed that here. Richard Ayoade directed that. He was from the IT crowd. Maybe he's been to one of these events.
Jesse, say that again, but slower.
However, Jesse quickly caught on to the reporter's hidden agenda and responded with an epic comeback.
Which part?
Just this last part, because I didn't understand.
Oh, I think that's because you're in front of the speakers and the acoustics are not good for your particular vantage point, but otherwise I think everybody appreciated it. See?
Come see us on stage.
Yeah, exactly.
This is just the beginning.